The first I had heard of Dalton Brooks is on my mission in Iowa.
Christa came in when I was about a year mark. August 1st was the transfer date.
So, anyways, I received a letter from this kid I was dating, and I remember my companion was like, Hermana Smoot, or Sister Smoot. She was like, it's not gonna work out with him. She was just like, there's another in this mission that your personalities are so similar and you're gonna marry him someday. His name's Elder Brooks. Later on, it was in September, I was introduced to him. We had a mission meeting, and right after everyone went out to eat, and we went to eat at Buffalo Wild Wings.
And she sat, I think, 2 people away from me. I told the weirdest dream in the world.
He was talking about how he was like sleepwalking or something. It was just, I remember it was super funny.
Went home, life was going good. I went up to the University of Utah.
Later on, I went home. I got home in December 18th, and so I headed up to school like right after that.
And Christmas time rolled around, and my mother fulfilled a dream of mine to have silky pajamas for Christmas.
And I remember I was scrolling through my newsfeed one day on Facebook, and I saw the most rad profile picture.
This is how I got Christa Pauline Smoot to first fall for me, right there.
It was the best thing ever, so I like couldn't pass up the opportunity to comment on it. And it's super weird because I've never ever messaged anybody first on Facebook, ever, in my whole life.
On January 19th, I got a message on Facebook that said, Elder Brooks, your pajamas are the coolest things, the most rad things I've ever seen. And from there, it literally just took off. We talked, and we were given paragraphs like this big.
And it was cool because while we were like texting, we made this bucket list, and we made like all these things that we wanted to do. So we'd been messaging for a while, and I remember it was one of the first days that we were texting. He was like, okay, well, when you're down in Utah, please like let me know, and then we can do something.
And I had planned to go do mini golf, which is like the average Joe Schmo of everybody just goes and we go mini golfing. And I was so nervous. I was like, that's not good enough. That's not a good enough first date.
So I like parked outside, and he like met me outside. And it was so weird because I like had to hug him for the first time, and I was like fresh home. I'm like, Elder Brooks.
Christa got in the car. She's like, where are we going? I'm like, it's a surprise. We had a change of plans. We're not going mini golfing anymore. And she loved it.
Oh, I'm like the worst at surprises too, so I was just like, what is it? We went to a place called Color Me Mine, and they had like all these like ceramic dishes and stuff, and you could pick out something to paint. And I remember Deebs and I, we picked out these gnomes that are like the raddest things you've ever seen.
First date was amazing. Like we didn't skip a beat. We talked the whole entire time, and it was fun, and spontaneous.
But we painted these gnomes, and then we went and ate at the pie, and I just remember like driving home, and I was just like, man, that was so much fun. Like I felt like I was hanging out with an old friend or catching up with an old friend. So it was cool because even though I didn't know him that well on the mission, it's like we just clicked right away. But then I get this text, and Dalton was like, hey Christa, I had so much fun, thanks for coming out with me. You're such a unique spirit. And I was like, all my like hopes and dreams were like crushed. I was like, dang it, I thought I had so much fun. I thought that was like such a cool date. But I like totally thought I was in the friend zone. I was like, all right, game over.
And apparently that just wasn't good. That was like friend zone, mission zone, all the zones you can think of besides I like you. That was what category she thought she was in. And she told me that I was pretty chill. So I was like, I'm faking like I'm asleep. So I just set my phone down. I was like, I'm asleep. Well, I texted the next day at the end of the day because I was really embarrassed being called chill. And on our 4th time hanging out, she came down to a YSA concert or a talent show. And after the talent show, we went and watched a movie.
Then after, Dalton took me to the Perry's, because that's where he was living at the time, and we watched a movie. We sat and watched White Chicks, and it was so fun because we were like watching the movie, but we were just like talking the whole time. He was teaching me how to whistle.
I remember asking, because she's much shorter than I am, Christa is, and I remember calling Megan and Tanner and being like, how did you guys like have your first kiss? Because Tanner is like much taller than Megan, and Megan's way short, and Tanner's like, you just gotta like pick her up or something, just like give her a big squeeze. And so I was like, okay, deal.
Drove me back to the church, and he gets out of the car to come open up my door, and I remember I went to give him a hug, and he just like bear hugged me and like picked me up, and then we kissed. But I remember thinking, we had hung out so many times, I was like, man, if he doesn't kiss me tonight, I'm definitely friend zoned. So I was like still in that limbo. So I was so pumped that he kissed me that night.
We would just be bouncing around the I love you, and the whole thing just happened so fast. I think it caught us both off guard.
It was so funny because we FaceTimed all the time in Idaho, and we FaceTimed like every single night. And I could tell that like I knew I wanted to say it, because when we would FaceTime and say bye, we'd like talk until like 2 in the morning, and I would be like, okay, good night, I adore you, or like, I really, really like you, or something. I think I came down to hang out in Salt Lake, and we were at Keely and Elias's. We were watching a movie, but it was again one of those like we were watching a movie, but we were like talking the whole time.
I don't remember how like the whole conversation went, but the important part said, Christa, I love you. And then she said, I love you back, and man, it made me just super happy. I just was like on cloud 11. I'm on cloud 11 every time, but that night was especially. I was just so confident. I just knew that it was love. I knew it was what love felt like.
I don't know, I think I was just so happy because I knew like I loved him too, and it's crazy how fast our relationship happened. It's crazy how fast like I knew that I loved him, but I think it's because we just connected on a spiritual level first, coming like from off a mission. And then we just clicked right away, and so.
Proposal was the most. I was so anxious because I was gonna originally write a song on the guitar and sing it for her, but I had Megan, my sister's wedding wedding reception that she was gonna have, and we had the idea of doing a fake bouquet toss. So my sister would go back. Christa, first of all, never goes in the lines for bouquets, which was the first hard part. My sister was gonna fake the bouquet toss and then walk it up to Christa and hand it to her.
It's like, okay, Christa, go down for the bouquet toss. And I wasn't gonna go. I was like, I'm just gonna sit here with Deeps. But he was like, no, go. And so I like went down, and I was like ready for the bouquet toss. I was like, I never catch this anyways. I'm like the smallest in the group, so I was like, I'm not gonna catch it. But anyways, and then I see Megan like counting down, like just about to throw it, and then all of a sudden she like turns around, and I was like, what the heck is going on? And then she just like slowly walks up to me and hands me the bouquet. And I was like so shocked. I was like, what is happening? And I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. Like, I'm dating your brother. But then all of a sudden I felt a tap on my shoulder.
As soon as I just touched her shoulder, I just had this instant smile on my face. I was just like, holy cow, like this is happening.
And I turned around and Dalton was standing there, and I was like, oh, it's happening. Like, I was so excited. I was like so pumped.
When she turned around, I wish I could just print out the picture that's in my mind of her face. I could just like blow it up and put it on my wall, because it was the most priceless face I've ever seen. And I asked her to marry me. She said yes.
I love me and Dalton's height ratio. That sounds kind of dumb, but I love how tall he is.
There are tons of things I love about Christa. I love her hair, even though she said she always wants to chop it off because this is super long and sometimes she just hates it, but she always puts her hair in a messy bun, and I just love it.
And I love his smile. His smile just makes me so happy. Like, it makes me smile. And his laugh is just like so contagious. Nobody can make me laugh harder than Dalton Brooks.
I love her laugh and the way her nose just like scrunches up when she laughs. She does just this cutest thing.
He just is able to make people feel unified and comfortable.
She's the perfect height. She just comes right here up to my chest. So whenever she hugs me, I just know she's just like super close to me. She's not like way up here or anything. She's just like right here in my heart.